Does exercise volume impact variables such as strength and hypertrophy? Follow along to find out. Exercise volume is defined as the amount of work that you are doing during a training session or the amount of work that you're doing throughout the week. And in a lot of research studies, they define these terms in the number of sets that you do. For example, a lot of people will see certain workouts prescribed as 3 sets of 10, meaning you do 10 repetitions, take a break, 10 repetitions, take a break, and then 10 more repetitions, making 3 sets. And the amount of sets that you do will directly correlate with the amount of strength or the amount of hypertrophy gains that you see. Strength is defined as the amount of force that you are able to produce, and hypertrophy is defined as the building of muscle. So the more hypertrophy you have, the bigger your muscles are. And so if you are looking to be stronger, or if you are looking to get more muscle, it is imperative that you have a certain amount of work that you do in your training sessions. And in this umbrella review, it basically found that there was what we call a dose-dependent relationship between your amount of volume that you do and the hypertrophy and strength gains that you see. Now the question arises, if I continue to do more and more work, does that mean that I will continue to get bigger and get stronger? Well, that's not necessarily the case. This review basically found that there is what we call an inverse U relationship. Basically meaning that if you are doing very little sets, you will see a little bit of hypertrophy gain. Then as you go to more work, you will gradually see increases in your hypertrophy and strength. And then eventually it will peak and then start declining if you go over a certain amount. Now everybody is going to be unique in trying to figure out where that peak is and how many sets is most optimum for you in trying to build your muscle or your strength. But basically this umbrella review stated that more commonly, most people are going to find that about 10 sets per week of exercise per muscle group is going to be optimum for training the stimuluses of hypertrophy and strength gains that you are seeking. And this is why you will see a lot of programs have you work out 3 times a week and do 3 sets of each exercise. By doing this, you are accumulating about 9 sets per week of exercise, which is really close to that optimum range of being able to find the most hypertrophy and strength needs that you need for your training adaptations. Now, not stated in this particular section of the article is exactly how hard do I need to work in these working sets. And again, this is going to be independent for most people, but if you are untrained, if you have not been working out, then you just need to do 10 sets per week of something that is challenging for you. Something that you find, hey, this is making me work a little bit, I feel challenged, and that will be sufficient in order to see your strength and hypertrophy gains. Now, if you are well trained and you've been training for multiple years, then it may be more pertinent that you get closer to what we call failure. Now, there are different types of failures. There's failure where you can physically not lift the weight anymore, and then there's what's called technical failure. And a lot of people will recommend that you don't go to absolute failure where you can't lift a lift, but you go to what's called technical failure. And the reason we'd say this is because if you're doing a big compound movement like a squat or a deadlift, these types of movements, you're going to start seeing a lot of compensations in your movement patterns. You're going to start changing your form in order to lift the bar. And as soon as you start changing your form, this is what we will call a technical failure or a form breakdown. And it's going to be helpful for you to get to the point where you start noticing the breakdown happen, but don't continue to push to absolute failure, because within those last few reps, we have a greater likelihood of injury. So stopping at technical failure is going to be more advantageous for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave those down in the comment section below. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day.